2016 is not going to be about the Obama years. It's going to be about the post-Obama era. And in the post-Obama era, conservative principles are needed as perhaps never before during our lifetime. And I realize this isn't the right venue tonight for me to go on and lay out all the policies that might be appropriate for our party and for people who represent our party. But I do want to mention three principles that I think should form part of the foundation of what we take to the American people. First, we have to make the world safer. Second, we have to make sure and provide opportunity for all Americans, regardless of the neighborhood they live in. And finally, we have to lift people out of poverty. If we communicate those three things effectively, the American people are going to be with us and with our nominee and with our candidates across the country. Now, let me take a moment and elaborate on those. First, making the world safer. The world is not safer 6 years after Barack Obama has been in office. There's no question about that. And I used to joke during the campaign that President Obama didn't have a foreign policy. And, of course, that was a joke because he did have a foreign policy. And the foreign policy was one that was crafted by he and his Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. And their foreign policy was based in part on the premise that if we're friendly enough to other people, and if we smile broadly enough and we press the reset button, the peace is going to break out around the world. This is a foreign policy that said that we should walk back from red lines. This is a foreign policy that said that we should lead from behind. It's a foreign policy which was characterized by speaking loudly and carrying a small stick. It was a foreign policy that somehow felt that America and our friends, like Israel, were the problem rather than the solution. And the results of the Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama foreign policy have been devastating. And you know that. Terrorism is not on the run. As a matter of fact, the radical violent jihadists in their various forms are terrorizing and brutalizing people all over the world just in these last several days. Tragic events in Paris, in Nigeria, in Yemen. Hundreds of lives, possibly thousands of lives taken needlessly. It's extraordinary. And, of course, we also see in the Middle East and North Africa turmoil. The Syrian tragedy rages on. Liberia is in disarray. Libya, is in disarray. Iraq is under siege. Iran is rushing to become a nuclear nation. This is a difficult time for the world. Then, of course, you have Russia having invaded Ukraine, taken Crimea. You have China saying that they own the South China Sea effectively. You have the Bolivarian alliance in South America continuing to expand and receive support there. This has not been a good time for American foreign policy. And so, in my view, to make the world safer for Americans and for good people all over the world, and to make the world safe for freedom, our party must stand for making the world safer, and our principles will do that. And we have to make that